I mean, he's doing it so well.
Yeah.
Burgundy House, yeah. So, you know, my initial concerns. I know, I was so against it.
Hi, Marianne.
Hi, excuse me.
Hasn't been like that. Trust is their responsibility. How are you? So that's.
Did you go on vacation? Joe couldn't come out in the rain? Where's he going?
Good morning.
You already have Jason, how are you? I mean, if you want to double up.
You have a fancy chair.
Taking a fancy chair.
Beautiful rainy day. She's got to get
Slide out.
He's got the really fancy chair.
Good morning, everybody. Call the meeting to order. 9 o'clock. Say the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a couple recognitions this morning that we'd like to start with. The first one is Mr. Bruce Butler, and it's with our pleasure that we'd like to congratulate him for 5 years of service to Susquehanna County. Mr. Butler is on vacation, so he won't be here to accept this morning, but we thank him.
Now, what department does he work in? You just give names. Can you give departments also?
911.
911.
He's 911? Okay.
And our second certificate of recognition is for Lorraine Depew for 15 years of service with the DA's office. We thank Lorraine. Is she here this morning? No? Kathy, are you accepting that first? Thank you very much. Item number 5 on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to recess the commissioners' meeting and open the salary board meeting.
I'll second that. Motion made by Commissioner Warner to recess the Commissioners' meeting and the salary board meeting. Seconded by Commissioner Arnold. All in favor? Salary board meeting opens at 9:01. Where's the minutes? All present. Item number 3.
Can you correct item number 2, because we don't have Jason Lake here? Can that be, who is here in
We have
place of?
Kathy Hawley here representing Jason Wade.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll make a motion to approve item number 3 on the salary, on the agenda.
I would second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Arnold to approve the minutes of the July 27, 2016 salary board meeting, seconded by Kathy Hawley. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Where are the minutes from the last meeting for both the regular agenda and the salary board?
I believe during the preparation of this commissioners meeting, unfortunately, they were only prepared in the proper form for the commissioners to sign. They weren't just prepared to be distributed, and I apologize profusely for that.
Will they be?
I'll
what?
go. Bruce, I'll go get it.
Thank you.
So we have a motion on the floor, so we move on.
We did, because Jason is with review. There was a motion made. Jason's involved. We good? Okay, all in favor? Say aye. Aye.
I'll abstain, I wasn't here.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 4 that creates a new temporary full-time union position of an administrative assistant for juvenile probation with a salary of $10.93 with 40 hours. This is being created because it's a transfer position for training, not the starting rate of pay.
I'll second.
Motion made by Commissioner Warren to create a new temporary full-time union position of administrative assistant for juvenile probation, salary at $10.93 per hour, 40 hours per week, benefits according to the government mandated requirements, effective date August 11. Seconded by Treasurer Miller. I know, it's a tough one. All in favor, say aye. Aye. So moved. Any public comment?
One comment I'd like to ask is, where is Commissioner Alan Hall? Do you have explanation why he's not here?
Commissioner Hall's mother is having surgery this morning.
Okay. Item number 6 on the salary board agenda.
I'll make a motion to close the salary board.
And I'll second that. Motion made by Treasurer Miller to close the salary board meeting and return to the Commissioners meeting, seconded by Commissioner Arnold. Sorry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
906.
906. Yeah, I do.
The room's getting full, and we have people standing.
That's the commissioner.
Commissioners meeting reconvenes at 9:07. Item number 6 on the agenda. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the July 27th, 2016 Commissioners meeting.
I'll interject again and say that will be in your hands shortly.
Oh, they will be.
I
okay.
apologize again for the error.
I'd like to make a motion to table the minutes from the commissioners' meeting because we don't have a quorum to vote on. I wasn't at the last meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll second that. It's tabled then. The request of Commissioner Warren. Item number 7.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 7 as listed on the agenda with ratification and approvals of the following cash disbursements and EFTPS payments.
And I'll second that. Motion made by Commissioner Warren to ratify and approve the following cash disbursements and ratify the EFTPS payments. Seconded by Commissioner Arnold. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
Make a motion to approve the seminars that are listed on our agenda.
I'll second that. Motion made by Commissioner Warren to approve the following seminar requests and payment for seminar requests. Lorraine Depew, District Attorney's Office, State College for grant writing training. Mr. Richard Ely, Veterans Affairs, ins and outs of Medicare. Maggie McNamara, District Attorney's Office, State College, Victim Services Fundamental Foundational Academy. And Jason Miller, Treasurer's Office, Association of Annual Fall Conference. Questions or comments?
Front row.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried.
I make a motion to adopt proclamation 2016-12 proclaiming August 7th to the 13th of 2016 as Susquehanna County Health Center Week. And we have a proclamation here, and I think that we have 2 people from, maybe 3 people, from NEPA. We actually took the National Health Center Week and made it into a Susquehanna County with things about NEPA, community health care. So,
Would you like to distribute those?
I'll second that.
Can we make comments about that? Proclamation?
Questions and comments?
Yes, who are the people here who are from NEPA that you're talking about? And what are their positions?
we have the chairman of the board, Joe Plonsky. We have,
Yes, but I don't know your position. What's your position in relation to health?
Really? You just told you I'm president of the board of directors.
Of what?
NEPA Community Healthcare.
You did it on the paper.
NEPA Community Healthcare, doesn't say NEPA. NEPA Community Healthcare. And who else is here from that?
Kimberly Tuttle.
And where is she? She's over there. And what's your position there?
Outreach coordinator.
And so what are you actually doing for the health of this county? What do you actually do? I've never even heard of your group before. You're doing what? So what's your, can you describe it?
Who you talking to?
You, Mr. Plonsky or Ms. Tuttle?
You never heard of our group?
No.
Have you been living in the town?
Just answer the question without giving a disparaging remark, Mr. Plonsky. I do live in the county. You know I live in the county.
We provide health services to the people of this county.
Like what?
Everything from primary care to secondary care, behavioral health, and all the rest. That encompasses a whole gambit of health care within the town. And other counties intertwine with us.
Are you part of the hospital? I mean, what is?
No, we're not part of this. You're talking about Montrose?
Mhm.
No, we're not. We have an agreement with them to send people there if they want to go there. But we're not part of the hospital.
So I'd like you to consider, the health of this county as far as all of the industrialization that's going on here, the impacts. We'd like to have baselines. Are you interested in doing that baseline health and air and water quality testing and study? Because we have so much industrialization now. Are you doing any of that?
We only are into healthcare. We're not into the practice of going in and oversighting of all of our health, your industries. We provide healthcare to the patients and the people in this county. There's other organizations that do the work you're describing.
And do you have a website that we can look up?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Sandy.
May I ask that Ms. Scroggins talk to this gentleman after the meeting? This is not regarding the commissioners' meeting, and if she wants to know what he does for life, maybe we could just take care of that later.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you for your response, and I'd like to know the website later.
Okay, so, item number 9 on the agenda, motion by Commissioner Warren to adopt proclamation 2016-12 proclaiming August 7th to the 13th, 2016 as Susquehanna County Health Center Week. Second by Commissioner Arnold. We did the questions and comments. All in favor, say
Aye.
Thank you. Item number 10 on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 10 on the agenda, ratifying the hiring of Christy Moore from Ashoffin to the second deputy clerk of courts.
And I'll second that. Questions and comments? All in favor?
Aye.
There's a comment.
Comment?
I
I'm
have a
sorry.
question. Should this read acting prothonotary clerk of courts? I don't know that the governor's made an official appointment.
I thought she was the prothonotary clerk of courts. I thought she was sworn in as.
She is, she's been sworn in as, yes, she is our prothonotary now, yes. So item number 10, motion by Commissioner Warren to ratify the hiring of Christine Murick Chopin to the open full-time union position of second deputy chief clerk of courts at $10.85 per hour, 40 hours a week, effective August 1st, 2016, with 6 months probation. Seconded by Commissioner Arnold, okay. Item number 11 on the agenda. We need to vote on it. Oh, I thought we did, I'm sorry. Can we vote on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved.
I'll make a motion to approve the transfer of Arleta Smith of Montrose to the full-time union position of administrative assistant on juvenile probation to the temporary position that we just created.
I'll second that. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. So moved.
Make a motion to approve the hiring of Virginia Smith to the full-time union position of administrative assistant for juvenile probation at $10.85 an hour, effective tomorrow, August 11th.
I will second that with this, for the full disclosure that Virginia Smith is a distant relative of mine.
Okay, thank you for doing that.
Full disclosure. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved.
Make a motion to sign the Child Accounting and Profile System Application Service Agreement between Susquehanna County and Avanco International in Fairfax, Virginia.
I'll second that. Questions and comments? All in favor, say aye. Aye. So moved.
Make a motion to sign a consulting agreement between Susquehanna County Services for Children and Youth and Avanco for the necessary training, project assessments, design and development, and all of the per hour are listed on the agenda. There's only one that has gone up, and it wasn't a substantial increase, so that's good.
And I'll second that. Questions and comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Item number 15 on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to authorize the commissioners to sign the agreements and contracts between Lackawanna, Susquehanna County's Behavioral Health, Intellectual Disabilities, Early Intervention Programs, and the entities listed on the attachment of Table 15. And it gives the amounts for behavioral health, intellectual disabilities, and our local match of $112,000 or $112,300 has been maintained for many, many, many years. That's a lot of services we get for just over $100,000 in Susquehanna County.
Second that. Questions? Comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 16 on the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the Lackawanna Susquehanna Drug and Alcohol Program agreements and contracts for fiscal year 2016-17, and they're on table 16 in our agenda.
I'll second that. Questions and comments?
Just wanted to say, I'm counting all of these different companies that you're dealing with for drug and alcohol program for this year, and it's coming out to, if I counted correctly, 2, 4, 60, at least 60 different companies. So it's quite a lot. You must have, this is how many drug and alcohol people are in these facilities at this time? I mean, how many are you servicing?
Do we know how many we're servicing, Bo?
No, but state law requires us to contract with the full continuum of care, so every level of care that an individual seeks for drug and alcohol services, we have to contract with one or more agencies so that we can provide choice and options to the individuals.
Thank you, Mr. Holman.
And do you have an increasing number of residents that need services since last year? How many, is it more than last year or the past 2 years?
So capacity issues, we're certainly challenged by them in accessing treatment, but we do see an increased number across the board, not only specific to Susquehanna County, but all counties in the Commonwealth for individuals who are actually accessing needed drug and alcohol services, so we think that's a good thing.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Mr. Holman. Yes, sir.
Regarding motion number 16, What is the dollar amount?
So our treatment budget is about $1.5 million.
Shouldn't that be reflected in the agenda? We're spending it.
We're not spending it until we use it. We don't know what we're actually using until it's spent, until we place someone somewhere or they use the services. These are the numbers, the per diems per day or per person. So until we use it, we don't really know. And it's contracted through Lackawanna Susquehanna Joinder.
So this is just for this county, 1.5 million, Susquehanna County, 2 counties? And is that coming from taxpayers' money, from our counties, or from the state also?
There's state and federal dollars.
State and federal?
Anything else? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Item number 17 on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 17 is listed on the agenda. It's a resolution 2016-07, and it has to do with Pennsylvania Housing Affordability and Rehabilitation Enhancement Funds, and this one has to do with the Housing and Redevelopment Authority.
And I'll second that. Questions and comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved. Item number 18 on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2016-08, and that's a cooperation agreement with the Housing Redevelopment Authority for administration of the Housing Affordability and Rehabilitation Enhancement Program. That goes hand in hand with number 17.
I'll second that. Questions and comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 19 on the agenda.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2016-09, and that is a cooperation agreement with TreeHab and the administration of Housing Affordability and Rehabilitation Enhancement Program.
I'll second that. Questions and comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 20 on the agenda.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2016-10. It's a resolution authorizing the filing for fair monies on behalf of TreeHab for a transitional living facility in Great Bend.
What does that mean? Can you explain transitional living?
Dennis?
I didn't hear the question.
What's transitional living facilities? Can you explain that?
Again, I'm sorry I didn't hear you.
All right. I'll second that, first of all. Questions and comments. Now you go. He can't hear your question.
Can you explain what is transitional facility?
It's going to be a facility for individuals coming out of our judicial system, which would basically give people the ability to succeed moving forward and moving toward reentry into the workforce.
Have a question back here.
Yes, sir.
I know I have to address the commissioners. Is the term for what this gentleman just said, is there another term called a halfway house? Would that be an appropriate term?
Our term is transitional housing for a reentry program. That is the term that we're using.
Then I have a question for the commissioners. What's the price tag on this? And there are a whole bunch of things here. The last three are funds, and there's no price tag. I mean, you know, free sometimes gets to be pretty expensive. I'd like to know what it is.
This is to apply for funds for fair.
But you must have a number somewhere.
Dennis?
The transitional housing cost is $395,000, which includes acquisition and considerable rehab of the facility.
Are any of, again, I'll address the commissioners, are any of the people who are going to be in these transitional houses or halfway houses, my term, are any of them violent offenders?
No,
Are any of them repeat offenders?
non-violent offenders.
So can the gentleman give an example of the average person who would be in this transitional facility?
There would be a person coming out of the judicial system that needs additional assistance to move towards success as it relates to dealing with different problems that they're having in their life and hopefully moving toward self-sufficiency for a workforce.
Can the gentleman give an example of why they were in a justice involved with justice in the first place?
I would, there's a variety of different things that I certainly can't comment on. There's people that are in the Susquehanna County judicial system, and it's a collaborative effort with the district attorney and commissioners to assist people to move toward the system and get to a point where they're self-sufficient and in a good situation where they can actually have a job and give back to the community.
Does the gentleman have an idea what the recidivism rate is despite transitional housing?
We're trying to set up a unique process here which wraps a lot of assistance for workforce. So I don't have the percentages you're looking at the tip of my tongue, but we're trying to be innovative in how we approach this so that hopefully it's more successful.
Well, I'd like to make a comment, 2 comments, and then I'll let other people ask if they wish. The economy in this county doesn't really provide for too many jobs. That's number one. Number 2, are the people who are being released into this transitional / halfway house facility, are any of them Susquehanna County residents?
Our goal is to have all individuals be Susquehanna County residents. We're working closely with the probation office and the district attorney, so it will be Susquehanna County residents.
It's a positive thing.
Opinion.
Is my opinion.
My question is, in moving them towards success, will you have an on-site manager at the facility?
24-hour staff.
Thank you.
You had said that your hope is to have them all become Susquehanna County residents.
No, that's what is set up as all Susquehanna County residents.
So were they Susquehanna County residents prior to entering the system?
It'll be people coming out of the Susquehanna County jail, Susquehanna County residents. That's the goal.
So did they live in Susquehanna County prior?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Julian, did you have a question?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
You're saying it's going to happen in Great Bend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Has the Great Bend voted on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we vote on that? We cannot vote on that. Can we have a vote on that?
Aye.
Aye.
I don't even know where we are.
Yeah. I think we're on item number 21.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2016-11. That has to do with fair monies, also applying for fair monies on behalf of Tree Hub, and that's for their rental and utility assistance program.
I'll second that. Questions and comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Make a motion to adopt resolution 2016-12, a resolution applying for fair monies, once again, on behalf of Tree Hub for down payment and closing cost assistance program that they have.
I'll second that. Questions and comments? All in favor? Aye. Public comment.
Can I just say something before we have public comment?
Sure.
I wasn't at the last meeting. I don't think anybody asked where I was. Doesn't matter if you don't care where I was, whatever. But anyway,
I thought you were at the convention.
I was at a conference for the conservation districts, and I sit on the State Conservation Commission. If you look on my website or my commissioner's Facebook page, you will find all kinds of grant opportunities that I learned while I was there, and I've placed them on my commissioner Facebook page, having to do with farmers, having to do with beautification, having to do with tree programs, things all over the place. So, okay, just wanted to make that statement.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I've noticed on some of the other county websites throughout Pennsylvania that a number of counties have their county commissioner meetings in the evenings. So that contradicts what we've been told previously, that they have to be held during regular business hours. And I was wondering if the commissioners could give any input on that, why that is.
I can't at this time. Can you?
I'll give you input at that. Since I was elected in 2003, I have tried to get evening meetings around the county. It was never accepted. We could never get two commissioners to agree, so that is the reason that they're held here at 9 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. I would be happy to go around the county and hold our meetings, get the corners of Forest City and Little Meadows and wherever.
Could we get the
That's-
two commissioners, we have two commissioners here now, to agree on evening meetings?
I'm just giving my opinion right now. I don't think this is the place to make a decision.
I would consider it, sir. Consider it, take it into consideration.
Sounds like it.
So what we've been told the last time we were here and we've asked, and the community has asked several times, the comment that we were given is not correct. We were told that they had to be at the courthouse at 9 o'clock.
I did not make that comment.
No, you
and
did
I
not.
was not asked.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Alan Hall's not here, we've already figured that one out. So how much information can we ask of you about the incinerator?
I myself don't have a lot of information about the incinerator. And
Let me see. What can I tell you? I did pull these off of the real estate. The property is still pending. It has not been closed on yet. I did send another message to Tyler Corners on their website, as I would hope that everybody else would be sending messages. I'll have to pull it up though. I took a picture of it. And it said, I asked them if they had started the process of the detailed engineering drawings for the proposed site. If so, is there a pre-application meeting with DEP scheduled? If the costs come in too high or you're unable to get DEP approval, are there contingencies to get out of the purchase? Would you give consideration to the proposed site as just an industrial park without an incinerator? I sent that, I think, on Monday. I have not heard back from them yet. They have stopped, I think, communication with me also.
Okay, my second question is, the air ordinance letter that Mr. Hall sent to PADEP was very vague. It did not have anywhere in there that these tests be done before any permits whatsoever were done by the county. So I feel that Mr. Hall, with his vagueness of his request to PADEP, this was just a ploy to hold back what the citizens of Susquehanna County and more now, because they're citizens in Binghamton, New York, and Broome County, there are a lot of municipalities that we need that air ordinance done in the correct way, not haphazardly. Thank you. Haphazardly being thrown there to PADEP. Sorry about being slow on those little letters there. We need something that needs to be done before these permits even start. And Alan Hall did not do that. I wonder if it's his game thing before the planning commission gets in there and requests PADEP to do these studies before any permits are given to anyone.
Could I comment on that, please?
Yes.
I'm trying to pull up the letter. I have the letter, but I can't pull up the bottom of the letter. The letter was sent it was signed by the three commissioners, if I remember correctly, and Bob Templeton, the planning commission. And I can't read the letter because I can only get the heading of it. And but I believe that it was to be done as soon as possible. I don't.
Yeah, but it's not, we have requested several, I'll say numerous times, that these records that they find out, the PADEP, before any permits are given. So that's a big chunk, that's probably the most concrete that we need to have these studies done before any permits. The way he wrote it, because his wife sent it on Facebook, I think it was Facebook or email. We all read what it said. It was very vague. It did, I don't even think it said immediately, as I remember. So we're feeling, as everyone, that this is just his way of just pacifying the community. And I personally am not happy about that at all. So what my feeling is about this whole incinerator is that I am not stopping my fight at all, because still we are getting Mr. Hall to do these things. And I've also noticed, to change the subject just a second, is that Route 11's getting worked on. Isn't it funny that the roads for Montrose were done before the fracking companies came in, or after the fracking companies came in? And now, he said in his last meeting that he's been in talking to Department of Transportation for a year. And now we're getting new roads. And maybe the incinerator's gonna be put in. We can't have the incinerator put in without these roads being fixed, because these trucks will never be able to handle our roads. So it kind of seems like Mr. Hall is definitely for this incinerator, because he has not stayed behind the county, the residents, and he's not looking for our well-being. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Could I comment? Yes, you may. I'm not going to speak on Mr. Hall's behalf or anything, but again, the letter was sent from 3 commissioners and the planning director. And given what you just said, I will read the letter again and ask for a follow-up letter to be sent.
Could you send an addendum? Or correct?
Absolutely we can.
Because we need all this stuff
Absolutely
done
we
before
can.
any permits are done. Driveway, any permit.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Can you explain for the public, what the letter actually asks for? What kind of studies? So we have it on record here. What studies are we?
It's an air quality study focusing on the Route 80, on the corridor of Interstate 81.
So we want air quality.
Specifically the Gibson exit.
So it's basically air quality. Anything else you asked for besides
No,
air?
it was an air quality study.
Just air quality. You didn't ask for maybe any kind of baseline health or water and air studies? Just the air quality, okay.
Is there a question in the back?
Yeah, all this stuff is good information, but all these letters and everything, instead of being just put on Facebook, which people don't usually use, why can't they put on your website so that all the public can have this information?
As a matter of fact, it is.
It's on the-
It was, that letter was placed on Facebook yesterday. If you go to the county's website,
I'll look in there.
and look under economic development.
Thank you.
There's a tab that says something about proposed industrial site or something like that.
I know.
And if you look on the planning, I guess there's been a large request for the comprehensive plan.
Yes, to be updated.
But the old comprehensive plan, so people can look at it. That is under the planning, under county offices, planning, and then under all the subdivision, all that stuff. It has the 2003 comprehensive plan.
Yeah, remember we talked about last time, I think it was 2 months ago, that was gonna be updated? How far have you gotten that? What have you done?
Well, it takes over a year to put that together, doesn't it?
That long?
Comprehensive plan? Yeah. So it's just in the beginning process?
We're working on it.
I got it this way, okay. What kind of updates are you thinking added to it because of the fact the incinerator was coming in?
I don't know what we're adding to it, but I'll tell you where we are with it. Carson has, and I don't know what Carson's last name is, but Carson has given us a quote on how much it's going to be. Bob Templeton, the planning director, has contacted DCED, where half of the money is going to come from. It's like a match. So if it's going to cost $40,000, then we'll be asking for $20,000 from DCED.
And what is DCED? Can you?
Department of Community and Economic Development.
Is that state, a state
Yes.
department?
Yes.
So you're asking for half of the money from DCED, which is the state.
DCED
Which is the state. And then you're asking for half of the money from what, our
will
own
come from our
county
the-
fund?
From the general fund.
From the general fund?
Because we need a match, and we won't know until October.
Now, the thing
If we
is,
get that.
that means you're asking for 40,000 from the state, or how much is the whole thing costing?
Approximately 40,000.
So why not have the county pay the full 40,000? Why are we asking for, because I wrote to Bob Templeton, he said, in order to apply for the grant money for the comprehensive plan, they won't even get an answer from DCED until around October or November.
It will be
for-
October.
For the funding, so that takes months to get funding through a grant. We have money here, we have Act 13 money, we have plenty of money to pay for this, for 40,000, since you've paid for all kinds of things like software, more than that, for the county. Can you please consider giving that money, putting it up front, and then if you do get a grant later, maybe you can pay yourself back?
You can't do that, you can't.
Well, then just pay for the whole thing, 40,000, and get it started, because otherwise, by the time a grant comes through, you don't even know if you're going to get a yes or a no. There's a 50-50 situation there.
But there's prep work being done behind the scenes right now.
Well, in order to expedite things, 40,000 is a small amount for something like this. The comprehensive plan should have been updated for years. I understand from the Planning Commission, they've asked for years to update this, and they've been denied the funds. And now, since there's all this pressure from the community, we're asking now, and now you're applying for a grant. The thing is, give the money and forget about the grant. It takes too much time.
Could I speak on what
Yes.
you just said about asking for money for years?
Yes, from the Planning Commission, that's what they told me.
I've been here for years, and I don't remember anyone coming asking for that to be put in their budget, or that's up to the planning department to apply for that money. That could have been applied for last year, the year before. It hasn't been updated since we've had natural gas in the county, so that's not even in our comprehensive plan.
Right, and it hasn't been updated since 2002.
2003.
2003?
Anything else?
Yeah, I have a question. I'd like to ask the commissioners, either as commissioners, elected officials, or as private citizens, where do you stand on the incinerator? Are you for it? Are you against it? You can choose to say no comment if you wish, but everybody in here has an opinion. It is a huge issue. Where do you stand on it? You're elected by the people.
No comment at this time.
I'd like to say, as an elected official, I don't think that we can put out a perceived determination of an opinion at this moment in what we in the office that we hold, because it hasn't come before us.
Where do you stand as a private citizen? You're no longer a commissioner. You're just one of us. And you will be breathing in the same air. We will be breathing.
I think people know what my opinion is, but I will say no comment.
Commissioner Arnold, or excuse me, Ms. Arnold, where do you stand?
I said no comment.
Either as a private citizen or a commissioner?
We're in a commissioners meeting right now, so I'm gonna say no comment. If you'd like to talk to me later, that's another.
No, I don't do that behind the scenes stuff. That's why you're elected.
Okay, well, no comment at this time.
Thank you.
May I help you?
On that comment, you know, as a citizen of the county, I really don't want my commissioners and my township supervisors to have a public opinion on anything like that because of the ramifications fiscally, or, you know, or not fiscally, liability, legally wise. I don't want to open up our townships and our county to a lawsuit, so I appreciate your position. But I do know that you are responding to our requests as openly as you can. You know, the addendum to the DEP letter. You know, so you're doing things for the constituents of your county. I have a question about there's discussion about asking for a countywide air quality ordinance. I have my own position on that, but I'm going to ask the commissioners, what concerns do you have about a countywide air quality ordinance versus individual township borough ordinances? Would it be effective to have a countywide air quality ordinance, or is it better to leave it at the smaller local levels?
I believe it's better, in my opinion, I believe it's better to leave it at the local levels.
Why?
Because the lowest form of government in Pennsylvania is the highest form. We also have school districts that heat their schools with wood, right? So we have to be careful on what we put in ordinance.
You can't be saying that because it's not true. This
Okay.
air ordinance has nothing to do with heating your house, with burning newspapers,
Or pellets.
running a fireplace, anything like that, okay? If you're not sure about the ordinance, maybe you should read the proposed, the proposed ordinance, because it says nothing about that. It's, how many tons per day?
4 to 5 times.
4 to 5 tons per day.
And solid waste too.
So, you gotta be careful, because you're misleading people.
Thank you. Anything else?
I'd like to present this to
Hello, Mr. Solansky, how are you?
all right, the minutes of the meeting. I made it just as simple as I could. And you guys owe me $488.
We owe you $488.78, is that what you're saying?
Yep.
Okay, this is an assessment appeal,
Mr. Arnold was in there with Mr. Hall. They won't give you no figures, correct? They get, we've been getting run around for 2 years. There's the figures, as simple as they can get. I can back them up. You guys can't.
okay, we'll look into it, Mr. Solansky, okay?
It's either you give me the money, or else subtract it from the what you owe me. Just that simple.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Solansky.
Any other comments?
Yes, get this, good.
During the last meeting, we were told that the county was working with a solicitor for a clean air ordinance. Where are we at with that? If since the last time, has there been anything towards the air ordinance that we're working on?
No, I've not seen anything yet. I guess we're still working on that.
I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't really know. I haven't seen anything come across my desk.
Okay, well, looking into it, I can sit in front of my TV and watch the news and in my brain be looking into an air ordinance. So we are going on now several months of the community saying, what's going on with the air ordinance? What's going on with the air ordinance? Have you talked to the solicitor? What is the solicitor, the solicitor's opinion on it? Have you looked into other air ordinance? These are questions that have been coming up consistently from meeting to meeting. And I understand that you weren't here last meeting, and you can't be expected to be at every single meeting. As commissioners, we'd like to see you, but we also understand that there are conferences and there's other business that you need to be dealing with. But when you're sitting here, you should be backtracking when you're missing a commissioners meeting and finding out what's going on. It's very simple to watch. Hey, we're on YouTube. Come on, you can find us on YouTube and watch those meetings. If Alan Hall couldn't be here this time around, and again, we all have families and we're all very understanding to that. However, we are now at one more meeting and we're getting either looking into it means absolutely nothing or don't know. Where's your solicitor? Is he here today? Why is he not at this meeting? Why is he not answering the questions that the community has been asking over and over and over? I also understand that when we are looking at public comment, obviously you cannot say anything in public comment. I agree, we do not want to put ourselves up for a lawsuit. But where are we with this? How long do you expect the community to hear we're looking into it? And what is looking into it? We have, again, I just think that's not acceptable. It's not putting forth openness, and you have to be careful because you don't want to put all your cards on the table when you're trying to combat an incinerator coming into the community. But this community will not tolerate an incinerator. We, as a community, unfortunately, I feel that the community is doing way more
Correct.
than our elected officials.
No, can we have a timeline then? Sue, I agree with you 100%. Is there any way we can have a timeline? Because this is like the third meeting we came to, and we don't have any answers. So maybe you can set up a timeline. You could put it on as you say, your website. We could say that this is the ordinance, this is what you're going to do, this is what I'm going to find out. We can have some kind of timeline. We're sick of no answers. We need solid, definite answers. That's the job. We need it done. We need it done today. So
I will contact the solicitor when we get done with this meeting.
So what
see
kind
where
of
we are.
What kind of timeline will we look
I'm not going to give a timeline because I can't depend on 2 other commissioners and a solicitor. I can give you my timeline, but,
Well,
2 weeks, 1 week.
So what is your timeline, Mary Ann?
I mean, I can give you a timeline of get it done and get it. You have to advertise an ordinance. So, you know, I mean, it takes time. I think it's 30 days or something. I'm not even really sure. So it would probably be 2 months on.
Is it possible that your solicitor might come to a meeting to give a progress report?
No, I really don't think so. I called him before this meeting, and
I requested the solicitor be here today, he wasn't able to make it.
And why is he not coming? I am requesting the solicitor to come here the next meeting, and he should be here this meeting. He is the county solicitor. He's being paid to do county work, and he's basically absent and very difficult to get a hold of. And I asked Alan Hall last meeting, that what he knows about Tyler Corners. That needs to be reported. Who called him? Who contacted him? Who does he know in Tyler Corners? We have yet to get a response on that. So he should be here to answer questions. Otherwise, we need another solicitor for the county to represent us. So please send that message to Mr. Mike Gingreco, who is the attorney for this county and is also a private attorney.
Can I just comment? He's a part-time solicitor. He has cases of his own. He has court dates. He has things like that. He does what we do ask. He comes when we need him most of the time. And I would not change solicitors. I think that Michael Gingreco knows counties, knows the law, and
then why do we have a part-time solicitor? We can't afford a full-time solicitor? This person has other work to do, so he's busy with his private practice.
we don't have enough work to have a full-time solicitor.
He's also a solicitor for the Planning Commission.
He's also a solicitor for the Planning Commission.
That
And
is
you asked
correct.
him to be here, so he didn't have time to come, right? Because
I'm
he's
not
busy
sure.
with other
Not
things.
sure. Not sure.
So he wasn't able to make like a half-hour meeting when asked by the commissioners.
Can I just stand up? I don't have to stand
I
up.
said,
First of all, I have a couple of comments. Anything at the state, at the county level, state level and federal level, any monies that come out of that are on taxpayer backs. So there's no real separation of state, county, federal. You're all paying taxes on anything, so any money's coming in, you're already paying for it. That's my first comment. Second comment, the reason you don't have this county solicitor, he's busy hanging out in the hallway denigrating and humiliating people. That's a private issue. 3, I forgot. No, I didn't forget. When I go in November to vote, I get all kinds of promises. I get mail, I get all kinds of stuff about how the people running for office are going to service me. They're going to make sure that I'm happy. They're going to work on my behalf. I want them to take a stand when they're sitting here. I want them to tell me where they fall out on an issue, especially when it affects my health, when it affects my county, when it affects where I live. I can't expect it, I should expect it. You promised me that I could. Either that, or I want you to take back all the junk mail you sent me and resign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
My name's Donna Benjamin. I'm from Halsted Borough, and I wanted to say that I am happy to hear that you are trying to push forward and are trying to get the baseline air quality study done. But I was also wondering, like other people have said, that it has been a couple months since we have been coming here, and it doesn't appear to have any progress towards a viable clean air ordinance that would protect the members of this community. I'm currently in school for human services because when I look around this county, I see countless hurting people. Just this past week, at least 2 people that I am aware of tried to commit suicide in this county. We are and have been considered a suicide hotspot for years by the American Red Cross. These people have lost hope and they are not alone. When I talk to people about signing the petition, they sign it, but say it won't do any good. They would just do whatever they want anyways, and they don't care about us. That is the voice of your constituents, hopelessness, with a core belief that those in power will do nothing to protect them or the ones they love. So I would like to ask each commissioner individually if you are in favor of a countywide clean air ordinance that will protect those that you serve.
I'll tell you that yes, I am.
I have to look into it more, but I am concerned with my constituents.
And can you
If you're
please,
concerned, we're concerned.
yes, and can you please read the clean air ordinance that New Milford has? You can get a copy of it. Did you get a copy yet? Please get a
New
copy.
Milford Township.
New Milford Township has a clean air ordinance that they're looking into. You can get a copy of it and read it. So you know more about that. And then also, anybody
I'm
else?
gonna hand in another petition that I got.
Thank you very much. Anything else?
I still, like, I'm looking around, the people really don't want this. We're asking for a clean air ordinance, and all I want to do is have some kind of timeline. So, we could get things moving, get things done. So I'm going to ask again, what kind of timeline are you giving the people? Because we've been coming and coming and coming. So we need some kind of promises now. We've been getting, I feel for you, I'm not sure, I got to look into it. We want answers, and I know you're working hard, we appreciate that. But you do represent the people, and the people, am I correct, ladies and gentlemen? People here, the people I talk to, am I correct? Do I hear a yes?
Yes, yes.
We as the public would like some kind of timeline. So we could say, next time we come, we're gonna have it done. We need some kind of timeline, we need something. I don't wanna go here from another meeting and find out nothing's been accomplished. So again, I say you work hard, but I need some kind of timeline, so please give it to the people, because they are asking you for it over and over and over again.
I can't make that commitment.
Could you tell us what the next step would be?
We would actually have to have an agreement of an air ordinance. We would have to have an air ordinance right in front of us, and at least two people would have to agree to move it forward. Then it would have to be advertised.
Can I ask?
I don't know if there has to be a public hearing. Do you know, Stace? Does there have to be a public hearing?
We can have a special meeting anytime you want. The solicitor has a copy of the New Milford, your solicitor, our solicitor, has a copy, so you could get it from him.
Okay.
Right in his hands, right in his office right now. He's working on it. I know he's working very hard on it. So you can get a copy and adjust it accordingly.
You mean your New Milford Township solicitor?
Mr. Brickell.
Mr. Brickell.
Yes, my question is, if the county should institute an air quality ordinance, would that not entail instituting a department to therefore monitor, et cetera, and I'm just gonna throw a figure out because it's my understanding it's gonna cost about 1.5 million to run that department. You'll have to hire engineers and
That's what I understand
coordinators,
also,
et cetera, et cetera.
Money well spent.
So that's 1.5 million that will jump onto our county budget, correct?
It's fine.
Absolutely it will.
There's no grants for that?
Well, you have Act 13 money.
I'm hearing absolutely it will, but I've heard views on both sides. So therefore, I think it is the commissioner's responsibility to look into and hear the opinions on both sides as to why it would not cost the township, Susquehanna County, that much money. So there's a lot of false information going out, and there's a lot of people in authority saying a lot of false information. I think we need to be very careful about what is said, and I think we really need to look into it before we can say it's going to cost that much money.
I think that we've already run the numbers. We have looked into it. We've looked into running the numbers of what it costs to put up a department, man the department, monitor throughout the county, and then enforce it.
Right. However, if the ordinance is written correctly, industry that would come in that would possibly be questionable to the air ordinance, you could put it in the air ordinance that cost would be part of their running the facility, and therefore not cost the taxpayers, cost the industry.
That's a good idea. I like that.
Okay, and if the industry were to come in that would harm our air quality, that cost would be upon them. It would also prevent industry from coming in that would have to do that, and that's exactly what Susquehanna County wants.
That would be in the fine print. I like that. Very good, Sue.
Thank you.
Good, Sue.
Well put.
We'll look into that.
That'd be
Really.
part of the air quality ordinance, very nice, I like that. Didn't
You
think of
said that
one.
4 times already.
I just want to make a remark, what Alan Hall said, I just want this to be on record. He said that there was only 2 people at the time that came to his office and voiced their opinions about the incinerator. I would like to put it on record and ask Mr. Hall, what are the over 400 signatures we have? It's just like them coming into his office. I guess maybe he wants 500 people to come into his office. I guess we can make that happen, but why would he just downgrade that like that? That, to me, does not make any sense. If I had 500 signatures for someone, I would not make a remark as ignorant as what he made to say, well, only 2 people came to my office to voice their opinion.
Julianne Skinner, first of all, Mr. Hall is not here to defend himself. Secondly, has a memorandum of understanding been signed? Okay. Second, the rail transloading facility in New Milford,
Can I just ask regarding what, the memorandum?
a host agreement, Tyler Corners and the county.
Absolutely.
No. All right. The Progress Authority has secured $200,000 in federal funding through the Appalachian Regional Commission to upgrade Oliver Road in New Milford Township to promote development at the Gibson interchange. Susquehanna County's rail system is another transportation node that can be leveraged for business development opportunities. So the question at hand is, where are we with respect to the rail transloading facility in New Milford? So I believe that Alan Hall, Commissioner Hall, knows the most about that by his association with the Progress Authority. So we'll go on record making the inquiry, and then when Commissioner Hall is in attendance at the next meeting, perhaps we can address that again.
But do you know anything about the transfer station, either of you? I understand that Diaz bought it or owns it. Do you know anything about that?
No, I do not.
Adam Diaz.
The one in New Milford Borough?
New Milford Borough, yes. I heard there was one in New Milford Borough.
To upgrade Oliver Road in New Milford Township. Okay, so that's different than
the borough.
And that was in
Transfer station.
2007, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is the date that I have, 2007.
But there's been updates. Yes.
Also for the record, if you go back and you watch last month's commissioner meeting, or the July 27th commissioner meeting, and Mr. Hall's words were that 2 people had called him for the facts. It wasn't about only two people, as in concerned citizens, have called to voice their concern. Only 2 people had contacted him to talk to him about the facts. And I think it's very important that his wording is understood from the meeting, and that we're very clear in the information that we as concerned citizens put out there.
Thank you. Anything else?
I'd like to also say that in this meeting, you had 5 resolutions you were able to put together since the last meeting 2 weeks ago. So you managed to make 5 resolutions about housing and things like that. So I would like to have a resolution concerning what we are looking for, which is clean air ordinance, baseline studies for health, air, water. That can you make a resolution that all about the things that we are requesting? You're able to do these 5 very quickly and easily. We would like a resolution, I would like to see it, that this is what the county is either looking into or the citizens are requesting, that we would need this kind of a resolution and inquiry and study, and that the funds can be found, and also to look into whether Act 13 funds can be used for this. You've been using Act 13 funds for all kinds of things, other than health, other than impacts. It's supposed to be for impacts to the county from the industry. So Act 13 can readily be used for this. Please look into that, report back to us at the next meeting whether this is possible, according to, of course, Mr. Jim Greco, the solicitor, and hopefully he'll be here to say it personally.
Here, could I comment about those resolutions before you go on?
Yes.
Those resolutions are put together by the state and by the agencies that request those monies. That's how they get the monies. They're not something that we put together here. I'm just going to say I'm not that smart.
Okay.
So that's where that money comes, or that's how those resolutions come about.
Okay.
We don't have.
You didn't write them yourself?
No, we didn't write them. Between the state and the agencies requesting the monies, they put them together to fit.
And then what we can do also, some of us who are involved, maybe put together a resolution, since it's coming from the outside, create a resolution and submit it to you, and then you can look it over and see if you can submit that at the next meeting. The citizens can put together a resolution, or you, the commissioners, can put together a resolution. So is that possible too?
You can do anything you'd like, I guess, Vera. You can present it, you can put it together. Whether it's going to go, I don't know if that is proper use of a resolution. I'm not really sure. I'd have to look in the county code. I don't know, really.
So would you be able to look into the county code and see what kind of resolutions are permissible? And we'll also try and look into that and see if we can have a resolution. And the other thing I'd like to say too is, since we've been having so many people the last several meetings, we asked several times, at least twice that I can remember, we need bigger rooms. And we asked for the either the courtroom, and somebody was supposed to look into that, and we still have you gotten a response on using the courtroom? We need a bigger room for all the people, because we have people here standing, and it's very crowded. I don't even know what the capacity of this room is according to the fire code. There should be a capacity listed somewhere for fire code. And this looks like it's up to full capacity right now.
Yeah, the townships could do that. I think our...
Yeah, our township, the New Milford Township. Yeah, New Milford Township did that. They had a fire code, and they said...
you'll be the first to go.
Right.
The windows are kind of high here, Vera. And the windows are kind of high. You won't be able to see it.
Right, so they can't see in through these windows. In the township of New Milford, people opened the windows and ground level.
And at least the borough people are allowed to talk here. At the township,
Yes,
I'm not
thank
allowed
you.
to talk.
That's because you're a county
And
resident.
that's called discrimination, because my taxes pay also. And I'm going to be involved in this incinerator. So as far as the county supervisors voting that in, how unfair to me and my neighbors that we can't have a voice.
Right.
The resolution was put in fast, without our knowledge, without anybody voting on it. They voted it, only township people can talk.
And no public comment. And they were able to do that very quickly. But when you
Yes,
ask
they
them to
did.
do an
Excuse me,
ordinance,
can I just
not
interrupt?
quickly.
This is a county commissioners meeting.
But I just wanted to
Can we
put it on tape.
continue if there's any more comments?
So please look into a new room if possible. You have that down?
If we submitted to you a Clean Air County resolution, then you could look into it and put it, okay? So we can, so who I submitted to you, Marianne, to your email?
Do you have my email?
You can give it, I'm sure, is it online? Probably on the website.
It's on my,
And I
it's
can
on,
find it,
yes.
then you'll be getting it shortly, thank you.
Okay.
My question about this clean air ordinance is, okay, we put one in, but to what effect? You know, how strict is it going to be? Who's it going to affect? Down to what level? Really, and I'm going to ask, how effective will your ordinance be? We have one on the record, but how effective would it be? You know, so we get one, great. What determinations will you put in place? Who will you seek out to make sure that it's effective? Obviously, the effect that we want is to keep the incinerator out. You know,
But we can't target.
we can't target
industry.
the incinerator or a certain industry, but we all know what we want it to affect. You know, that type of industry, that type of pollutant in our county. So what steps will you take to safeguard that? So, I mean, we're talking about a resolution, an air quality ordinance that you're willing to look into. What process will that involve, and who will you involve to do that? Are questions that I have.
I got a good one. I'd like to make a motion to close the commissioners meeting if there's nothing else.
Second.
All in favor?
It's 10:08. Thank you.
10:08.
Good old days where they lasted
12 minutes. 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Preston's son is here also.